Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Decoteau, one of the school counselors in Keystone's guidance department. And for Goodnight with Kip, I'm going to be reading Dragon School, which is illustrated by William Davis. Dibbs was nearly 8. Soon he'd be old enough to go to Dragon School, where he would learn to fly and breathe fire. He sat at the top of a hill, looking down at the school, ringing the little bell that he liked to keep on the end of his tail. One of the older dragons flew overhead. I'm sure I can do that, Dibbs thought. But his little wings had not yet grown big enough to hold his weight, and he fell on his face. Worse yet, his favorite little bell slipped off the end of his tail and went tumbling down the hill. It bounced all the way down the hill and right inside the front gate of the Dragon School. Dibbs was nervous about going in, but he explained what had happened to his favorite thing, and the bigger dragons let him go in. Inside, Dibbs saw a line of young dragons getting ready for a flying lesson. Right at the head of the line, Dibbs could see his bell lying on the ground. He didn't want to seem rude, so he joined the end of the line. So he's all the way back here at the end of the line, and look at the other dragons that are breathing fire and others are flying. But before he got to the front of the line, another dragon scooped up his lovely bell with her tail. And she launched off the top of the rock before Dibbs could cry out. His beautiful bell went off into the sky with the other dragon. There she goes. Soon, the dragon was at such a great height that she would not have heard Dibbs' shouts. Dibbs tried to get the attention of the teacher to ask for help. Look, he seems frustrated. Clang! The bell dropped from the sky and landed on the head of the teacher. Dibbs cringed at the sound. That probably hurt. It came from a pretty high distance. And instead of hitting the ground, the bell lodged firmly into the branches of a nearby tree. Dibbs crashed all his weight against the tree, but it was nowhere near enough to dislodge the bell. When he couldn't knock it down, Dibbs tried to climb up to retrieve the precious bell. The tree was high, and Dibbs had not yet grown strong claws. He struggled up the trunk as far as he could, but the bell was still out of reach. Frustrated, Dibbs let out a little puff of smoke. That was the solution. He would breathe fire and remove all the leaves caught around the bell. He took a great breath in, gathered the heat in his belly, and let out a tremendous gust of hot air. The leaves disappeared into ash, and Dibbs could grab his beloved bell. The teachers weren't very happy with the scorched tree on their grounds, and Dibbs got a bit of a scolding. Maybe he could wait a little while to go to Dragon School after all. He was just glad that he had his shiny toy. The end. This was adapted from Clang Clang by Diane Christiani and William Davis. I hope you enjoyed it. Good night.